What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. I want to talk about why it's important to not one, just have a community, but two, kind of hold that community dear. And when you step outside of that community, remember the values, remember the rules, and don't let the externals outside of that community bring you down to their level. So for example, my community is my family, Jasmine, the dogs. It's where I feel the most comfortable. And that's not always, like, you can't say, oh, where I feel most comfortable is the best thing. But for me, that's where I feel most comfortable. It's where I can be myself. That's my place where I want to succeed and want to grow with that. When you step out into the world, because there's 8 billion of us, it's easy, my hand is in the camera, it's easy to come across other people who aren't synchronized to your ideas. And I'm not saying that we should all have the ideas, we should all have the same mantras, we should all have the same message. But what I'm saying is, it can bring you down to a negative level. When I'm blessed that I get to spend a lot of time with my wife and my kids, the kids being the dogs. So I get into the regime and into the comfortable rhythm of just having that love and that just warmth of our small community. When we come out of that and I have to be around other people and I get to see the negativity of certain humans and the darkness and just the low energy of what they bring, it can be hard because I try my best to kind of stay away from that on a daily basis. I'm a massive believer in energy transferring. And I don't want to be around people who are negative, who bring dark energy, who have low vibrations. And there's a lot of that. For instance, I've just been at a traffic light and people were just screaming at each other for no reason. And just seeing that put me in a negative environment. It just put me in such a weird space where I'm like, this is not what I deal with on a daily basis. This is not, I don't deal with screaming. I don't deal with people wanting to scream and insult and destroy each other. That's not where I come from. I come from a place of love and togetherness, not screaming and swearing and just hatred against each other. Not that you can avoid that fully. There's lessons in that, and it's important to see that. But again, in the sense of energy transfer, that being around that, even for that split 10 seconds that I was at a traffic light, it affected me because I don't want to be around. I don't like that. I don't like screaming. I don't like negativity in that kind of reference. For instance, my youngest pug, Penelope, if me and Jasmine, rarely, but if we do have an argument and we do even just a negative tone, not saying that there's not a place for that. I know everything can't be positive and sunshine and everything all the time, but even if we have a negative tone, she can sense that and she goes and sits near the door and sometimes shakes. So we try our hardest not to bring ourselves down to that negative just realm and low vibration, because it clearly affects us, it affects our souls, it affects people around us, it affects our children, the dogs. And I can't be in that kind of environment. And again, it's difficult because It's easier now that we live in a smaller city, but when we lived in Toronto, like a city of 4 million people, you just walk out and you see that, and it's hard to avoid. But now we just practice on not being around people, but choosing our circle very, very careful. Not letting people in that we know that are just going to bring a negative vibe, going to bring just a dark energy with them. And that doesn't mean that they're evil. It just, a dark energy means, it kind of sounds like calling someone evil. It just means that what they vibrate, what they want, what they see life as is not what we see life as. And that's, again, not an issue. That's not a problem. If everyone's entitled to have their own opinion, to have their own view, to live their own life. But for us, it's very important to us to keep our circle safe, and it takes a lot to let people in. So yeah, I just wanted to share this video on my opinion on the importance of community and the importance of our tribes.